should honestly be recording our warm-ups and put them on Instagram and be like, yo, what? What?
What are they even talking about?
It's a way to get people in.
Blacks.
It's a way to keep people out, I think. Greetings all. Welcome back to your beloved bi-monthly, well, it's not really bi-monthly, whatever, broadcast, Harlem's very own, featuring as always your three illustrious co-hosts. Speaking first, it's Justin K. Winley, a.k.a. a proud pigeon papa. I'll explain that in just a little bit.
Tyson?
Joined by my boys. No. Close, but no.
Yo, what's up? Steffers-Wilson, a.k.a. the Philosophical Gangster, a.k.a. ASAP Aristotle, a.k.a. Sexy Socrates. Your boy graduated philosophy.
Yes, sir!
Your boy got his philosophy degree at Hunter College.
Yes,
Suck
sir.
my dick.
Yes,
Fuck out of here.
Come on now. You better
Wait,
say
I'm
it.
not done.
Oh,
International Honor Society of Philosophy. Suck my dick. We out here.
He's not telling the International Honor Society to do that.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the International Society should do that. I just keep me in and put some of my papers in your publications.
There you go.
But other than that, yo, the Philosophical Gangster is in the house officially.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, bro.
Congratulations.
Fucking God.
Yeah. How does it? Well,
Go for
and
it.
our third mic.
Oh, it's hi people. How you doing? My name is Ahmad Kevin Simmons, aka the holistic hoochie daddy hunk over here, and just bringing you the good vibes over here. That's all it is. My hair is out, you know, my legs is out, and you know I'm ready to eat somebody up. Anyways,
Oh wow!
It's like Quiet Storm with Ahmad. It's like you're really the male equivalent of Shorty from the Warriors, narrating the whole movie. Bruh.
it's literally that. No, that is Do the Right Thing with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yup, that's you.
My main man Mookie, bringing in Sal's Pizzeria. Moving on.
Wake up, y'all.
Well, Jude, how does it feel, man?
Oh, so real. I'm gonna burst into tears when I go walk down the stage, bro.
Yeah, when is your ceremony?
Tuesday.
Okay.
At 3:00.
Tuesday. Okay.
Like, why?
Random time.
In the middle of the freaking week, dude.
Do you have like certain tickets? Like you bringing people?
I only have 4 people. Putty, my aunt, Marie, Lily.
Okay.
I assumed y'all would be working. My bad.
I mean, I just get off work at 3, so I wouldn't be able to make it, but I'm there in spirit.
And you have 7,000 jobs.
I would be free at 3.
Shit. Well, shit.
But you know what? We're gonna be there in spirit. We're gonna be yelling your name once 3:00 hit. We're gonna be like, let's go, and then we go back to work. You know.
But yeah, dude, it's been it's wild, bro. It took me like 5.5 years to get my degree.
Yes, sir.
It was like the first couple semesters was a little bumpy. You know, I failed remedial math a couple times.
That's okay.
Murdered it though, and then I got my feet under me, and I was making moves at BMCC. Graduated BMCC in 2020. Mom passed away, and now I didn't know how I would make it without my mom.
Yeah.
I really had no idea, you know, because like she was with me throughout the whole thing, obviously, but like she would help me with my homework, even as a grown ass adult, because she was always like, Jude, don't be afraid to ask for help, and ask me for help, because she was by far the smartest person I ever knew. And like I would have her read my philosophy readings, be like, all right, what should I look out for in this? And in that way, she kind of taught me how to read philosophy papers and look for what I need to look for to talk about in class. And I really had no idea how I was going to do it. I took a semester off in 2020 because I was like, yeah, no. But then once I got into Hunter officially and got my the full load of classes, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna kill this shit. Yeah. And that's what the hell I did.
Yeah.
That's the fuck I did. And I'm beyond proud of myself, and I'm gonna continue on with more school. Probably go to grad school in the spring of next year, because let me just like chill, take a breath, stack some coin, and then hit the grind again.
Man said Masters is on the way coming in to a theater near you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Not Masters. Masters degrees.
Well, you should be proud of yourself, man.
Definitely.
I mean, this has been more than half of the time that I've known you. You've been pursuing your education. And I can relate to like hitting that moment where you flip the switch.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I'm here and I got to do this for me, You know, like I know, yes, there are people who have expectations of me and they're counting on me or whatever, but like I have to see what I'm capable of, and I have to push myself to my own standard of excellence.
Yeah.
And especially me going to, you know, Pace, this very expensive institution. I was like, what business do I have paying all this money and not getting an A in every class? No, especially when I can choose my classes or doing as best I can. And once I had that mentality, I mean, you know, I graduated in 2021 summa cum laude, so like it really just I kind of you get that killer instinct, so to speak. But I'm happy for you, and I am excited to see what you do next. By way of explaining my AKA today, for the past like month, I think actually it has been almost exactly a month. There's been a pigeon who's been visiting my windowsill. I started calling her Dottie. She's a little brown, thin little pigeon. And she would be like, I woke up one morning because she was cooing. Or not even, it was the middle of the day and I heard cooing, but I couldn't see what it was. Later I found out it was a pigeon. And so she would keep stopping by every day. And I had this sneaking suspicion that she was building a nest under my AC on my windowsill. And so that's why she was visiting so often. But I would always go out and I'd say, hey, Dottie, through the window. And she would like, you know, in my head, she's looking at me, whatever, doesn't matter. This morning, she's there again. And I look out and I see a little commotion underneath the AC, and she's feeding a little baby pigeon.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like,
Look at that.
I was here for that. I was here, you know.
That's cute as hell.
And it's hilarious because at my job, they got some duck eggs about the same amount of time ago. Like
the
3 weeks.
incubation.
Yeah, so they've been incubating them, and a couple of them hatched in the school today as well.
Oh, sweet.
So it's a springy day. It's a day of birth. But that's, I don't know. That powered me through the day. I was like, my baby's is here.
We all need to go to, you know what we should do? We should all go to the zoo.
Oh.
We should go to the zoo because I want to see Justin in his zoo element.
You know, I used to be, I might have said this on record, I used to be more of a zoo fan, but as I've gotten older, I'm like, let them out. I mean, you know, but the thing is that if zoos move more toward becoming conservation centers and not just like places where you're like you're caging animals, then I'm kind of more inclined toward them. But yeah, like going to like,
we should go to Yosemite.
Oh.
Yosemite, yeah, that could be something. Or like going upstate somewhere to just look at, like just like going into nature itself.
Mm-hmm.
The national
like,
parks.
of course, being careful, like just bringing shit. But you know, looking at certain animals that are in their natural habitat.
You know what I learned? You know the MGM studio logo that plays in front of certain movies, the lion?
Yeah.
That's actually a tiger roar instead of a lion roar.
I heard that before.
I never heard that.
It's a tiger's roar. Damn. Tigers have, I think like tigers have that. I think they do it with a lot of animals.
The crumbly kind of
they
roar.
They have that more distinctive roar sound.
And with lions, it's like low and yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's louder. You can hear them from like, I think 1.5 miles away or something. Shit. But tigers have that very like raspy, growly sound. So they use them for a lot of animals in movies. They use them for sharks sometimes, even though sharks don't growl. Anyway, so we don't have a guest with us to interview today. We wanted to take a minute to chat about some of the things that have been going on, have a bit of a news episode. So there's just a few topics we want to discuss. I think what we could start with first, it's a bit somber, but it is the most recent thing. A legendary queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner, passed away at 83.
Didn't we talk about her documentary
we did
a season ago?
I think it was season 4, and we talked about it in the. I think it was actually the same episode we talked about DMX's passing, because I was looking at it and we chatted about multiple things that episode. I remember how enlightening that was too. I mean, I knew, I guess, as much as we generally know about Tina. And a lot of it was like her relationship with Ike and how abusive that was. We didn't know. That documentary obviously goes into more detail.
Yeah.
But I think also it was just, it's one of those stories of a person who probably had even more potential than we saw her really get to engage, and was, spent a lot of her career or the early part of her career bound to a very controlling and jealous individual who didn't let her fully express that potential. And then by the time she was solo,
in her 50s.
Yeah, and she, I mean, by all accounts, or at least what we have of her, she seemed to enjoy it. She seemed to take life by the horns and enjoy as much of it as she could. I saw on Twitter someone posted, like a clip of Beyonce meeting her and performing with her at the Grammys, I guess it was.
2008.
Yeah, and that was like one of Beyonce's heroes. I mean, like she was for a lot of black women musicians.
See, that's the thing, though. Like, she wouldn't have been popular if she hadn't left to go to Europe.
Right, and that the documentary does talk about that.
A lot of people did not fuck with her music in America, but Europe was going bonkers.
Yeah,
she was like, I had to leave.
Yeah,
because if I didn't, I wouldn't have been on top. Nobody wouldn't have heard my music. Like when she brought out River Deep Mountain High, folks were like, we don't like this shit.
Yeah,
they weren't. It wasn't like they don't like this shit. They were like, oh, it's okay. Mm-hmm. But niggas in Europe were like, oh my God, who is this woman? We want her to come through.
Yeah.
So once she came through, it was like she took the fuck off. So we thank Europe for making Tina the legend that she is, or like just making her the solo artist that she
giving her the
was.
recognition she deserved.
Dude, it was insane.
Mind you, her influence is like, at that same time, you see it in a lot of American rock artists and even British rock artists. I mean, there's an interview where she talks about Mick Jagger, kind of like, she thinks she influenced his stage presence a bit. Obviously, lead singer of Rolling Stones. And I mean, black people invented rock and roll. So. Of course. So it does make sense. But how did you guys feel when you heard this news? Kind of surprising, or
shook me? I mean, it still shook me. Like, regardless of how old the person is, it still hits different when you actually hear that they passed away. But you also reminisce on like all of the music that was heard as you were growing up from Tina Turner, and how much of an influence that she has put on black people, black music, black theater. Because when Tina the Musical came out, everybody was going crazy over that shit.
Yeah.
And especially, all of the documentaries that were dedicated towards her and the women who played her, speaking of Angela Bassett and Adrienne Warren, she was a monarch when it came to rock and roll itself. And of course, one thing for sure, you aren't that old to start a career, with her starting in late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, she
could move. That woman could move, and starting her solo career in her 50s, but not even that. Just like overcoming, for our fans, like trigger warning, but like assault, abuse, sexual abuse, just feeling manipulated, trapped in marriage, and feeling like you're not able to grow as a person and as an artist. That she had to handle a lot of this stuff on her own by physically leaving like her big obstacle, which was Ike Turner.
Yeah.
And so she had to fight back, and that's what it was. She fought back, ran across a fucking freeway bridge to get to the other side, and that was when her solo journey started. It wouldn't have been the name Tina Turner if she hadn't left and seen and like noticed that she was more than who she was when she was with Ike Turner.
Yeah.
And so I definitely, it shook me, but I'm also just so proud so happy that she is finally at the utmost peace.
Yeah. Took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Like, she's much older. Well, not much older. She's 84.
83 is a good age. It's a good age.
It's a good age, and I think that I wasn't so sad. It's just like, it more seemed like to me like she lived literally a full life. You don't need to go through what she went through to live a full life. But, she had her kids, had a wonderful career, had a wonderful life with her and her friends, her compadres in the music world, and whoever else she came in contact with, even her neighbors. And I don't know how she went, and it doesn't really matter at the moment, but she has lived the full life, and it's lovely to see. Not a lot of people can do that.
Yeah.
You can live to be 100 years old and not live a full life.
Yeah.
And lived in, like I said to y'all, in spite of what happened to her. You know,
Very
lived
true.
triumphantly, which I think is really beautiful. And I saw the headline pop up, and for me similarly, it was like there was a moment of shock, but there was also like a okay. For me, like okay, you know, and I'm glad that she got to be part of the telling of her story.
Yeah.
You know, because they could have made a documentary at any time, and they obviously could have made it after she died, but they made it, and she was alive, and not only gave her blessing, but was in it.
Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful. And she got her flowers too while she was alive. She got to see her Broadway show. People always adored her. So it's one of those like awesome second chance stories where you hear about people, you know, in any field who kind of get that upswing, like you said, in their middle age or toward their middle age. You know,
when everyone thinks a woman is literally in the downward trajectory,
especially for a woman. Yeah, like and in that industry as well.
The second menopause hits, it's a wrap for you.
Yeah, you're of no further use. It's obviously that's, you know, poppycock, and
it is.
And she proved it with her life. So rest in peace, Auntie Tina.
Auntie Tina.
Staying in the musical vein, though, we have had a major revelation this weekend with the release of the trailer for the Color Purple musical adaptation.
One of the greatest films and one of the greatest musicals to be ever made. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Starring Fantasia and Halle Bailey.
Wait,
Wait,
goddammit.
Fantasia.
Fantasia's playing Celia again.
Reprising her role.
Come on. Yes.
When I see you, Fantasia.
When I see you, yes.
Yeah. Oh,
she was
shit.
in the original musical when it aired on Broadway, and Homegirl took that shit by storm. Cynthia Erivo took it over in the revival, but they asked Fantasia to come on back. But probably mostly because of Cynthia Erivo going to be Elphaba and Wicked. But you know,
yes.
yay to her too.
Schedule
Anyway,
conflict.
moving on.
Sierra's
Yes.
in this shit too.
Is
What?
Sierra
Sierra.
in the movie?
Yeah, nigga.
Interesting.
Sierra. I see her name.
She plays Nettie Harris.
Oh, come on, Natty. Oh, she's gonna be Halle
Bailey
Bailey's
is young.
character.
Okay. She's not in the
Fire.
trailer.
Her is gonna be Squeak.
I don't think they revealed Sierra in the trailer.
No, they did not. They wanted to keep that hidden, but you know, niggas like to look shit up, so they're gonna be like, Sierra's in
me,
this.
I'm niggas looking shit up. Dion Cole is Alfonso. The heavy hitters of also the low key heavy hitters.
They got Coleman Domingo in the Danny Glover role.
He's gonna be daddy. He's gonna be the dad.
He looks
the
like Danny
the
Glover,
husband.
yo.
That's a good cast.
That's a great cast because he's his.
They gonna keep that scene where she's about to slit his throat with the razor, and they decide. Now, I've only seen
it.
This is interesting. I've only seen
The movie.
the Steven Spielberg film, and I've seen it probably more in chunks than I have sat and watched the full thing. But it's my mother's. It's one of her favorite movies. I don't know if she's ever seen the musical. I never saw the musical, but I know that the musical came. Well, the novel came first.
The novel came first,
and then the
movie.
music. Oh, then the movie.
Yes.
And then the musical apparently is closer to the events of the novel.
Yes.
So what's interesting is people are hoping, or I saw a comment that said like, you'll be able to enjoy this and the 1980s film both because this isn't a remake of that movie.
Yes.
It's another adaptation of the source material.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
precisely. Like this is the movie. This is the Broadway musical that is going to be in theaters. Yeah. Of course, there might be some tie-ins from the movie itself, but at the same time, you know, this is the musical that is coming to theaters,
Which has been a popular trend recently in the Heights.
Very yeah.
West Side
I was
Story.
West Side Story.
West Side Story. we
All
got-
another Steven Spielberg joint.
Yeah.
He did West Side Story.
He did direct it. Yeah.
It's I'm so excited for this fucking film.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. It's like when I saw it, my aunt, she told me, she was like, Ahmad, I'm always going to Broadway. I'm always going to have tickets. Like, is there a certain show that you want to see? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I want to see The Color Purple. And she was like, all right, cool. We'll see you next week. And I said, okay. But like watching that with the full, with like the star cast, like seeing Heather Hadley. No, I think it was Jennifer Hudson. Danielle Brooks, Cynthia Erivo, like that big three, being in that show. Oh my goodness, like that musical moved you, bro. And then at the end, there is a certain song which is called "I'm Here," where Celie.
Is that the one she's singing over the trailer?
Yes, and like was seeing, I've heard Fantasia, I've heard Cynthia Erivo, I saw Cynthia Erivo sing this song live. But it's just like the message itself and how she sings it, and like how much of a weight that's been lifted over her shoulders when she sings that. It's just, it brings you to tears. And so me hearing that in the trailer, I was like, oh, I'm about to break. I'm about to break. And so you would see like Taraji P. Henson is going to be playing Suge.
Yeah.
Like, people forget that this woman can actually sing. And so she's been training, she's been vocally training and all of that. So I know she's going to blow that shit out the water. But just...
Corey Hawkins, Anjanou Ellis, Louis Gossett, David Allen Greer.
Big cast.
Tamala Mann.
Big cast, bro. Like, I know I'm going to be in shambles after that. Yeah. It's such a powerful film, such a powerful musical, and it's just overcoming, as for what we were talking about with Tina, being trapped, feeling like you are nothing, because like with Tina and what is like with Celie in the film, that they felt like you aren't able to succeed and strive for more than just being in the house or just being under somebody else's shadow. Yeah. And so it's just seeing that in that film and seeing that from Tina Turner, it's just, oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. I ain't gonna get emotional on this shit, but when I watch that fucking film, best believe I'm gonna wear purple and I'm gonna bring napkins. That's just gonna be top tier.
Both in a headlock next to him, like, y'all seeing this?
Hell yeah.
Y'all seeing this?
Hell
I'm gonna see this with y'all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm telling you.
3 crying grown men in the back.
So y'all niggas good?
No, nigga. You should be crying too. I said, nigga, this is not even that emotional.
You're poking inside.
You know what? That's why you got one ball, nigga. So you got one ball. Fuck you. That's why your forehead crusty.
It's a theater full of 60-year-old black women and us.
Right. They're gonna be the ones like, don't you talk to them like that, baby. You all right? Mm-hmm.
Baby, you wanna come home with me?
Mm-hmm. Hey.
Mm-hmm. You know what Ahmad does at Mo House?
Yes, Miss Celie.
Well, how do you guys feel about Halle Bailey? I didn't even know she was attached to this. Yeah. Kind of, continuing, really skyrocketing into this.
Shorty is catching them checks and let her.
Is catching them checks.
She should, yo.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like it's from what we see, like, of course, in the original Color Purple, like, both of the sisters are dark skinned, and so like seeing Halle Bailey, I mean, ain't got shit to do with
talents that they want.
I'm sure, like, well, in that production, in the musical, they're Cynthia Erivo and Fantasia as Celie, like, they're playing like their younger selves too. But like in this one, of course, like you have the younger people doing it. So I'm sure Halle Bailey is gonna be fucking incredible as Nettie.
I don't know that either.
And
it's quite a jump too from The Little Mermaid to the like even what you have. I mean, I haven't seen.
Oh no, it's just range, like, because like both of these shits are coming out in the same year.
There's the it will be a very. I mean, she's building a great reel for herself, right? Like, to go from playing Ariel in this fantasy role to playing this very gritty, multi-layered, human being. Not that I'm sure they tried to add more depth to Ariel in the live action film, but like, it's a Disney movie, so there's only so much there. So this is big. She's got a great agent, and she's being positioned.
Her sister need her agent,
but it's And she's not, Halle Berry is not going to be in all of the film of Color
Right.
Purple. She's going to be in just
Like the first 40 minutes, probably.
probably even less than that.
Is this gonna be like Chris Brown in Stomp the Yard, where he's in all the trailers and then
Yes, like she doesn't die, but she goes away. Like
Right,
it's
that's
just,
true.
you know, she's gonna set like her mark there, and of course, like I'm pretty sure this is like a great role for her because you know with her doing that, she's probably doing Little Mermaid as well.
Yeah.
like at the
probably
same
filming
time,
basically back to back. Yeah.
you know. But I'm proud of Halle, and I'm also proud of her as well being in this
Yes.
as Squeak. Like what, just seeing her as an artist, as a singer, you know, I wouldn't have thought that she would be an actress as well. So
She
we'll see how
recently
it
did
goes.
that Beauty and the Beast thing where she was playing
She
Belle.
did.
Yeah,
She did do that.
Yeah, she did. She did.
I don't know if
That seemed like a test.
maybe it's an interesting choice to keep the music name and not use. I mean, I know a lot of like Common does it, and obviously Sierra does it, but there are some.
Queen Latifah does it.
Yes, that's true. Queen Latifah, I feel
LL
like.
Cool J still does it. Ice-T still does it.
all right. I get it.
And LL Cool J as I mean some names work
I'm
better
literally
than
just
others.
naming rappers. But
I feel like when I saw the credits rolling and I saw her, it just kind of threw me because I was like, oh, it's such a specific music brand.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever. I'm sure she's going to be great.
Before you say anything else, I'm more than happy that they kept Danielle Brooks as her role from when she was in the musical, because Homegirl
She's playing the
tore
Oprah
that
Winfrey role.
shit up. Yes, she
Okay.
tore it up in the Broadway show. Oh my goodness! But seeing her come from Orange Is the New Black,
I like
Two.
Danielle Brooks.
The Color Purple, and just noticing like, oh my God, this woman can blow too.
My parents just saw her in Piano Lesson, so
Oh my God, I wish I was.
they're very happy that it's coming to Netflix as a film. So, yeah.
I can't wait to see
her,
that.
yo. Danielle Brooks a badass.
Shout out
yo.
to her and Fantasia.
I will just say last thing, the young woman Felicia Pearl Posse that they cast as young Celie looks
Yes.
very much like her. I thought it's good casting.
Definitely.
Because it's not only the darkness of the skin, but she has similar features, kind of the width of her
What
face.
as a Fantasia? Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the choreography. I'm ready for like these costumes, because they definitely got the money for this shit right here. Like I'm ready to see what type of story you're gonna tell with this. I'm ready to see it.
Yeah.
And you know, we've seen, and like shout out to Taraji, because you know we've seen her sing in Annie live, but you know something like this, something that's like a little bit more a different take, you know, as to her being in a musical. But I'm ready. I'm ready for this. People, I'm ready for this movie. Period. Okay, I'm ready for Christmas Day, and I will be crying. Okay.
Yo, what y'all know about the director?
I was about to say, so this guy
He did a Beyonce video. He did Black is King.
Blitz the Ambassador, or Blitz Bazawule, Ghanaian rapper, singer-songwriter, record producer, author, artist, and filmmaker.
He also wrote a novel. What artistic nigga.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I guess I watched. No, I didn't even watch Black is King. Really, I saw one part of it.
I saw a little bit of.
It seems like so he's mostly worked on music video and stuff like that. But this is a cool potential quote unquote breakout for him in terms of the mainstream.
Yeah.
It's hefty. I mean, there's a
This is
directing.
Daunting
big.
task.
Yeah,
This is
directing
big.
filmed musicals is almost like directing superhero movies. It's like because there's like almost that same level of expectation, although it's from a different audience, and there's so many moving parts. And
Yes.
you know, so I hope that he is up to the
huge.
task.
This
Yeah.
is huge
This
because,
is-
like you said, this is your mom's favorite movie. Yeah, like when that movie came out, it shook a lot of people. It still shakes people now who haven't even seen it.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. I'm ready to see what they have in store for us, and to prove these other people wrong that you know this is a movie musical and not the original movie.
Yes,
You dumbasses.
you don't
Do you
have
not
to be
like
so
the original movie?
No, I never said that. It was just people believe that they're remaking the original movie, which came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
People get
They're-
defensive.
It's
over it.
it's not that. It's literally the musical that's being made into a movie.
Yeah.
they're just taking that music of what's been going on in the choreography, like all the choreography, like all the songs that's gonna be that's from there is gonna be in the movie. Cool. Like it's not gonna be as like the serious film. It's gonna be serious, but it's not like how it was in the original with Whoopi Goldberg. Like that one was tough.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one was tough.
Yeah.
But this one is gonna be great. Okay. you still gonna feel some shit. You still gonna cry. Okay. You're gonna be all right. Thank you for coming to my fucking tech talk.
Well, yes. I was gonna say, speaking of Africa, because one of our sports news segments has an African athlete involved. But before we get to that, I did just briefly want to touch on in maybe our last section, unless something else comes up. Just some of the combat sports stuff that's been happening in the last couple of weeks. So first, Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko dueled for the lightweight unification at 135 pounds last Saturday, May 20th.
I didn't get to watch the fight.
I was sent by our boy Sincere, shout out Sincere, a link to it on YouTube before it was swiftly taken down. I got to watch pretty much the full thing. And Lomachenko won. Haney won by unanimous decision.
That's what they wanted.
Yeah, Devin Haney won by unanimous decision. It was a fight in Las Vegas between the two of them. Now, there's been a lot of controversy. You know, people have been saying robbery. People have been, saying all sorts of stuff.
Well, what do you have to say, Justin?
Yes, well, I'm glad you asked. As someone who did get to watch the fight, I think, and I wasn't sitting there with like a little index card scoring each round per se, but I was looking at the fight as a whole. I think it's a situation where, and I'll actually borrow something that Brian Campbell from Morning Combat said. It's
Love that guy.
Yeah, that podcast I enjoy. That Loma won the story of the fight, which is because they were so kind of gridlocked in those early rounds, but Haney was showing a lot of dominance with these body shots that he was landing. And
you can't forget about those body shots.
You can't. But then
look at Ryan Garcia.
Well, yeah.
He hit Control Alt Delete in his liver. Oh my god!
Boom. Yeah, he got shut down.
He got shut.
The 3 rings of death on your Xbox.
Like, god damn. And it happened, so it was just a delay.
It's
was
always
like,
the ones you don't see.
Oh.
It's always the hits you don't see. It's Gervonta coming up underneath the punch.
He didn't even like flush it. Like,
yeah,
he kept seeing that good old right hand, coming down. He saw it just like opening that body up.
Yeah,
he's like, all right, nigga, you do it again. I'm gonna blast you.
Well,
and that's what happened.
I think he did.
I think Ryan learned a lot from that fight. And I think Haney learned a lot from this fight, which we'll talk about. But saying all that to say, Loma in rounds 10 and 11 specifically really started to turn it up and pour it on and looked like, even though he is the older and smaller fighter, he looked like the younger, bigger man, backing Haney up, knocking his head back, throwing flurry work, really putting pressure on him. Since then, Loma has admitted that he took his foot off the gas in the 12th round because his corner was like, basically told him like, yeah, you got it. Which is the same thing that Haney's corner was telling him, even after round 11 when he clearly needed to pick it up. So had Loma kept the pressure up and really put on a clinic in round 12, maybe the decision would have gone the other way.
Why would trainers do that?
I don't know.
It's like whenever that happens, whenever a trainer be like, you got it, they never got it. Like De La Hoya was fighting Felix Trinidad, whooping his ass the whole fight. But the last like 6 or like maybe 4 rounds, I forgot what it was called.
Yeah.
He just danced around him the entire time. Yeah. And then they gave it to Trinidad.
Yeah.
So
you can't be upset, really.
No, you can't be upset.
Like obviously your corner's giving you advice, but you as the fighter are in the ring, and you also have to at some point make a decision.
No, but the trainer still, because the fighter is going to listen to you, because it is.
Yes, right.
Like
that's
if
what
Sifu told me, yo, Jude, pick it up, do this, do that. Yeah. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. And of course, I as another adult in this situation.
Yeah.
I need to put in work, but I also just put in 10 rounds of fighting. I'm tired.
That's true.
If you let me know I can chill, I'm gonna chill.
You're gonna take the opportunity to do so.
But like a better way for some, but also I can't talk because I'm not in that situation. But I would say, hopefully, moving forward, a trainer will be like, "Listen, you have it in the bag. You just got to maintain it.
Yeah.
Keep popping them.
Yeah.
Pop them with the jabs. Pop them with the cross. You know."
Yeah, and I think Loma is a fan favorite. Devin is new kid on the block, and there's always going to be that like period where you have your doubters, even if you're showing legitimate talent, which I think he does, obviously. But looking at the fight, I can't say that it surprises me that Devin would have won on decision. Yeah. I just think the fact that it was unanimous is kind of wonky. Also, there was a judge there. I think one of the senior judges scored Vasili's most dominant round for Haney, which has started a lot of conversations about like, who are these guys that y'all are letting come back to judge? Like, observation and judging is still a physical skill. It still requires your ability to be sharp. And, maybe we need to start looking at like, no disrespect, but retiring some of these guys and bringing on some people who are a bit, fresher.
Who have good eyes.
I don't have cataracts.
Like, he's being nice here. He's being nice. Fire these old ass niggas and get the new. All right, because honestly, we still need to get your prescription. All right, just come on now, get the new people in there.
Yeah.
Because because like you said, it's gonna raise some eyebrows if that ever happens again, and be like, "Yo, my man, you telling me you didn't see that whole round?" I kind of did it.
That nigga's head was never still. He kept
I kind of did it. I was trying to fix my joints.
Yeah, well, you know what I was thinking? Boxing has always had its eras, and we're in an era right now where the lightweight division is one of the most exciting, which is like,
it's a cyclical thing.
Yeah.
It happened in the 80s. That was 40 years ago. The
90s was heavyweight.
Yeah, 90s was heavyweight. The 2000s was just Mayweather.
Even in the 80s, I'm thinking like with the Four Kings, weren't they welterweight or middleweight?
But there's still the lighter divisions. Like,
sure.
It's whatever's not heavyweight is like what's popping.
I mean, it's funny because in pop culture, like in movies, we always emphasize the heavyweight champion of the world because it sounds, But you got Haney, you got Tank, you got Shakur Stevenson.
Tank don't smoke all of them.
Well, we'll see.
Tank is like a scary fucking dude.
He
as zesty as people think that nigga is,
he is zesty.
I think it's just his inner child.
Yeah.
I think his inner child is like dormant inside him, and now he has all this money. He's being a little kid and having fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's
still gonna crack you in that left rib.
Yeah, yo.
Here's the current 135 lightweight rankings. So at number 1 we have Shakur Stevenson. Number 2 Gervonta Davis. 3 is Haney. 4 is Loma. 5 is William Zepeda. 6 is Frank Martin. Keyshawn Davis at 7. George Kambosos at 8. Michael Rivera at 9. And Isaac Cruz at 10. And then there's a bunch of other people going down into whatever. I haven't seen too much from Shakur, but I hear that he is, obviously he's number 1. He's a problem.
Shakur's going to be facing Terrence Crawford.
Okay.
In June.
I thought Terrence Crawford was fighting Errol Spence.
You're right. My mistake.
Yes,
yes.
Terrence Crawford's a bad motherfucker, and he got shot in the head.
Word?
Yeah, he got shot in the back of the head, and
oh damn,
made it.
He made it,
and decided
he woke up.
I want more cranial trauma.
Think about this. Think about this. He weaved a bullet. It got caught in his ear. Like that's crazy.
That is kind of wild.
Wow,
that is kind of wild.
That's some Matrix shit right there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Do you think that's harder than 50 Cent still having the bullets in his tongue?
No. 50 Cent getting shot in the face is still harder than that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Because like got shot in the face
9 times.
Yeah. 9 times. Okay, got shot in the head. Man, you be all right.
I got a special ASL ELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you could read 1 page of a Harry Potter book, nigga.
It's the comma before it. Harry Potter book, nigga.
The fact that you called it a comma. He uses it as punctuation.
It was just, you did. He did.
10 years later, we're dying over this.
He's still waiting. He's still waiting on Floyd.
Yo.
Floyd been tutoring ever since.
Yo, Floyd. Put this on the first page.
Right. He's still on the first few lines. I'm going to get this page. I'm going to get this page.
The boy who lived.
Granddad, can you read me a message?
Like, yo, think about it though. Friggin' Mayweather did not even get his high school degree. Think about that. He's just been boxing his entire life.
And good at it.
He's beautiful at it, but god damn. Jesus.
You want to read it
One of your daughter had a
from an
date with
audio
that
book?
young boy.
Well, it's interesting because we're in this era now where people are like, okay, who's the? I mean, we've been saying it since long when Floyd was still active, but who's the next Floyd, right? And they've been. I mean, Gervonta is in his camp, but a lot of people are looking at Haney as the guy who might potentially have it. And then there's Haney actually even kind of looks like Floyd, which is kind of which is the funny. If you shaved Haney's head and put a mustache on him, I could see it.
Well, look,
Is it because he got wide lips? I'm sorry.
It is.
It's
It's the duck lips, yeah.
Well,
but
I
also,
mean,
now there's that kid.
Looking like a black ass Daffy Duck.
There's that kid that you showed me. The kid who's coming up under Tank now, who they're calling Tank 2.
Oh, that little kid.
Carmel Moten.
Yeah. What's with all these fucking names?
No
Black people,
disrespect.
stop naming your kids.
No disrespect, black people. Stop naming your kids is crazy.
somebody definitely called him Caramel in school.
That's why he started boxing.
Caramel.
What you say? People calling
The
me.
fuck you say about me and my name? Oh yeah, I see that. I see that face.
He does look like Gervonta.
He look like his
Look
son.
just like Gervonta. It's scary as shit too.
Yeah, he's a little light-skinned Gervonta.
He is a light.
lighter Gervonta. So yeah, I mean,
Gervonta
it's
quite light.
Yeah.
You know.
it's interesting to be in this period where we have all these cats, running around. Haney might move up to fight whoever wins between Teo and who is Teo? Josh Taylor. I think they're fighting at 140. Teofimo's the last guy who beat Lomachenko, a decent boxer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. It's one of those. I guess even though you guys didn't see the fight, I don't know how much you independently follow boxing. It's harder to follow than,
It's
than
mad hard
MMA.
to fight. It's mad hard to follow boxing.
Just because of all the promoters and different belts. And yet, there's a lot of people who think that mixed martial arts could take more cues from boxing, specifically in how they bid for fighters, which can transition us into the Francis Ngannou news. So this is I think one of our older news items, but about a week and a half ago or so, by the time you're hearing this, Francis Ngannou, former heavyweight champion in the UFC, who left, has revealed that he's signed on with the Professional Fighters League or Fighting League.
Yeah, PFL.
Yes, for a 3-event pay-per-view super fight contract. So he's going to start the MMA fighting in 2024. But basically some of the details are that in addition to just being, working with them as an athlete, he has placement on their Global Athlete Advisory Board. He's a chairman and an equity owner of PFL Africa, which is a branch that they are looking to start and build up their audience over there. He has a net profit split for all events that I guess he's part of. He has a signing bonus as a brand ambassador, plus the right to his own sponsorships within the cage. He's got a non-exclusive contract so that what he does with MMA is MMA, and if he wants to box, he can negotiate that separately, which is what, he's obviously some of the heavyweight boxers have been jawing at him, and he vice versa.
Yeah, like Tyson Fury.
Anthony Joshua, and Deontay Wilder.
Deontay Wilder. I'm sorry.
He would, I think he'd kill Deontay, but the others there's more of a conversation.
No, Tyson Fury is definitely a much slicker boxer.
Yeah.
And a tough nigga too.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Anthony Joshua, he's a good boxer, but I don't know how that chin doing. How that chin doing, Tony? Anyway, the other big
Tony
thing
is wild.
come on the show. The other big thing, the biggest thing that a lot of people are talking about is his guaranteed minimum payment for his opponents. He's negotiated that anyone who steps in the ring with him is walking away with no less than $2 million, which I think is...
That's the main thing.
It's causing people to say, okay, what is the price tag of my blunt force trauma? What is the price tag of my CTE?
Yo, for
real, because if you're gonna get knocked out by Francis Ngannou, the Predator,
Francis, I'll fight you for $2 million.
That sounds like some shit. Okay, let's think about this.
That's the floor. You could go up.
If Mike was in his prime,
Tyson?
in this time, he would have done that shit. He probably would have done that shit. No, he would be like, if you want to step up the ring with me, you get 2 million. And if I knock
He
you
might do
out,
it now.
you
might.
ain't gonna get fit. You're not gonna get fit.
How about that for a super fight? Ngannou versus Tyson.
Yo.
That'd be fucking insane. It's like a video game.
Like we'll do
Punch out in real
25-year-old
life.
Francis, the 25-year-old Mike Tyson versus Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be legendary. That'd be some shit.
I mean, it's interesting you bring up the age because, Francis is no spring chicken himself in combat
40?
sports. He is 36 now. He'll be 37.
You
at the end of the year.
36.
I'm 36.
Which is not, not impossible to fight at, but the dude has also had like 2 knee replacements. And
Both of his knees.
yeah, I believe so. And he was fighting with at least one bad knee in UFC.
Both of them shits had braces on him when he fought Sorogan.
Yeah. And won anyway.
And he grappled the shit out of him.
He did. And so this is also like part of it is a lot of people have been, talking about the kind of the jawing between Ngannou and Dana White.
Fuck Dana White.
Because Dana White has had a lot to say about Ngannou over the past few months. Since he left,
Good Lord.
he's been talking about how, we offered him the most money we've ever offered any, fighter, and he said no. And, I think, again, to borrow from Morning Combat, there was they were kind of saying, like, he's probably just a guy who doesn't understand someone who can't be bought.
Yeah.
Because what Ngannou was asking for was more than just money. It's not that, and we've seen now that he's started to talk, Ngannou that is, has started to talk more about his motivations, that it wasn't just about like, oh, you're not paying me enough. It's like, I'm trying to build something and be part of something, and I'm valuing myself, I think, in a different way than just like a price tag. And I think for Dana, who obviously is someone who's, credit where credit is due, has built this empire by being, kind of a cutthroat guy. It doesn't make sense if it don't make dollars for him. So, what were you gonna say?
Fuck Dana White. Punto end of story.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's like shit, man. What are you gonna do?
He
You don't pay your fighters enough, bro. Like his opponents will make more than an entire UFC card combined.
Yeah.
Including winners with bonuses.
Yeah.
And it's gonna open up the MMA market. And honestly, if you pay people more, they're gonna give you a better product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Punto. The UFC has been. It's made what? How much did it make last year? I sent you guys something, and it was
Yes. So
made mad dough.
UFC's net profit for 2023 was $387 million, which is more than any or all other combat sport promoters combined.
Yeah,
And they've been increasing that's like, so their revenue has been increasing, and then so their profit has been increasing by like basically 150 million every year since the pandemic. So by next year, by like 2025, they'll be at $500 million at this rate.
I know, and they sold to a different company, like
Endeavor, right?
Yeah, Endeavor. That was like a $2 billion freaking
Acquisition.
buyout.
Yeah,
and now they're stacking more money. Yo.
yeah. No, it's crazy.
I mean, it's not to be surprised. They had Donald Trump ringside, so
that's true. They did, and this is like they in 2020, the year of the pandemic, they netted $177 million. So that's
nothing was going on. NBA wasn't going on like that.
Yeah.
They had the bubble. They did. It was quiet. The Olympics didn't fucking happen, but the UFC happened.
they found countries to go to that didn't care about COVID, and they were like, people want to see people fight. So because
That's
Dana
everywhere now.
Dana don't care about no.
He don't give a shit. As long as the money is talking, he's like, Nick, I'm bringing all my niggas over here.
And he said it's just like that too.
Yep.
He from Boston. All my fucking niggas over here. Hey, you fucking wise guy.
I mean, you do look at like
I'm not Matt Damon. I'm in The Departed.
at the risk of potentially setting Jude off, you do look at like what they call Dana White privilege, right? And you look at like all the fighters that he kind of gives a lot of slack to.
John Jones.
And most of them are white except for
Because John Jones hates black people.
Because John Jones hates black people, which is Jude's theory.
It's not my listen, it's my little theory. But
Jude has a lot of evidence.
But it's just right. Every fighter he's ever had like legit beef with was black. That's kind of it. He doesn't want other black fighters to be
Didn't
great.
he tell Daniel Cormier he was going to like eat his children? No, he said, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. He said it straight up.
Much worse.
Yeah.
But like, that's Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
That's Mike Tyson. He'll do that to anybody.
Right.
He tried to break one dude's arm in the ring. He bit Evander Holyfield's ear off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mike Tyson's Mike Tyson. Like,
yeah, John is.
Those hands is for everybody.
That's true.
Ready to eat. Come on.
Man, woman, child, bird,
Grandma.
dog, bird, tiger.
Not the birds. He loves his birds.
He does love his
He does love
pigeons.
his birds. He does.
But just the pigeons, not a parakeet.
You fuck with his pigeons, you fuck with your life. But we fuck with your soul, okay? You will not wait. You will not go to the afterlife. I'll tell you that.
Like Martin Luther King could have like killed one of fucking Mike Tyson's pigeons, and God would have been like, "Listen, man, I know you did all this for the people, but like, yo, you killed Mike Tyson's pigeon, bro.
I can no longer protect you.
And not
Like,
even
that's
not
your-
even like one of his pigeons. His
like
first
you
pigeon,
chose
bro.
hell. You chose hell.
He'll escort you there directly.
He will. He definitely will.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of other fighters who have been kind of speaking out about how how Dana's favoritism seems to work, and the I guess hope is that what Francis is doing will inspire a lot of other UFC athletes, specifically because UFC is the biggest name in MMA, to start kind of exercising their free agency as much as they can. But, and another savvy business move, Dana White and the UFC kind of immediately reconstructed a lot of contracts right after Francis left. So I'm reading this from Bloody Elbow.
Oh, fun.
This was 4 months ago this was written. The UFC has recently made several changes to their promotional agreements, which could have a major impact in how the sport operates moving forward. As seen on the several new UFC contracts obtained by Bloody Elbow, sweeping changes have been made that are both restrictive and concerning for fighters. The biggest change is the addition of an arbitration agreement and class action waiver. These have the potential to impact the current antitrust lawsuit and reverse some of the contractual gains fighters have seen over the last few years. So basically, they are preventing their fighters from ever suing them.
Shit.
And yeah, which is pretty
What's
deep.
gonna happen? Because Dana White has been such a big part of the UFC. I just wonder what life would be like if he was just not there. Like
What the UFC would be like when he dies.
you took it there.
I'm asking if that's what you mean, or if you mean like if it was another person.
If he retires,
Oh.
leaves,
Oh,
dies.
got you.
I just said wasn't there. You took death.
Well,
but it does seem like he's not gonna let go of power until he dies.
I don't think so. Yeah.
But I don't know, because I love watching mixed martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
Watching one is a little weird because you don't know. It's not as easy to follow as the UFC is,
yeah.
because it's right here. It's right in front of us. It's way more accessible.
Yeah.
I do like one. Salud.
Thank you.
I like what they got going on over there with the Muay Thai fights, the kickboxing fights, the jiu-jitsu matches they have, the MMA fights they have over there. It's excellent.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to follow because it's over in Asia.
Yeah.
But I want to know what it's going to look like without Dana White. And like I think I said this about a year ago, the Ali Act.
Yes.
Saying how, because the reason why we don't have a boxing UFC is because of the Ali Act. Like, not one organization will control the entirety of boxing.
Yes.
In the United States and make a monopoly out of it like the UFC has.
Yeah.
But if the Ali Act gets acted on and the UFC probably gets undermined and disbanded, what will that look like? And I feel like they're supposed to figure that out like now-ish.
Whether the Ali Act will affect MMA, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's we'll see. I know that one of the co-owners, the Fertittas, Lorenzo and Frank Fertitta, they who were co-owners with Dana White, they dropped out, I think, like 2 years ago. But that obviously just, now there's one crown, so there's less power to go around. And it is one of those things where you wonder, like, is Dana even interested in bringing on someone like, because one olive branch would be to say to someone like a Conor McGregor, like, hey, why don't you join the ownership of UFC, right? Even though it's Conor McGregor, but it would at least be like I'm willing to do this kind of thing, so that people who are still on the fence would maybe be like, oh, if I stay here, maybe I have a chance at something like that. But of course, it's Conor, and not everyone can be Conor. I'm just saying, like, that would be his equivalent to what Francis is doing in PFL. So yeah, I don't know. Who knows? One of the two of you got to go and get that paycheck against Francis, though.
Huh?
In the heavyweight. I mean, probably you. More likely you.
Justin, what?
Listen, I'll corner you.
I'm not to fight dirty.
Yeah.
He's gonna grab under Ngannou's nuts,
I will punch that nigga in the throat 5 times.
Fish hook, eye gouging, all that.
All pressure points. Like, I'm not letting him touch me. Okay?
He's sick. Yeah,
If he tries to grab onto me, I'm poking his eyes.
He's 6'5", 260 pounds.
I'm out here when it's something. Okay, I'll take your eyeball. I'll take that L, but I'll take your eyeball. All right, come on now. Don't do
I
that.
have the belt, but I have your eyeball.
You know what I'm saying? Like you might have got me in my jaw, but I put a dent in your throat. Okay? I put a dent in your Adam's apple, nigga.
I'm from around the way.
I'm leaving here with something.
That check and your Adam's apple.
The check in your Adam's apple is crazy.
We appreciate y'all spending some time with us. We'll be back as the summer rolls on with more interviews, with more news segments. But for now, please rate and review the show wherever you get it. If you want more Uptown love, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Podbean app. Summer is here. It's probably going to be a hot one, so stay hydrated. Wear your sunscreen.
Wear your condoms.
Yeah, what else? Go to the gym. Stay active.
Gucci Daddy shorts on, goddammit.
Get the inseams out.
Yo, Justin, you rocking the Hoochie Daddy shorts this year?
I do have a
You gonna bring
collection.
them out?
I do have a collection. Well, you saw in Cancun, I had some of them.
Yo, I saw this nigga wear shorts and they were above the knee. I was like, yo, I never seen this before.
Uncle Dragon. This man is Uncle Dragon.
I got two barbecues this weekend. So one of them,
You got 2 barbecues this weekend?
yeah, one of them is
Your lady friends?
Y'all don't need to know this information.
I do.
Stay black and die.
And die, nigga?
If you're black, like stay black until you die. Don't change. Good night.